Hi guys, welcome back for another one of my first impressions videos. So we're going to do something a little bit different this time. This one is called The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. It's a demo that Polly and I found, and it looked pretty interesting, so we wanted to go ahead and give it a try. Not really too much to talk about. It's kind of like a top-down kind of thing. Very similar to some of the Zelda games that were like on Game Boy. So definitely our kind of thing. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
I am sorry to send you off like this. But I have no other choice. The seal has broken. Take these, and be sure not to lose them. You are our last hope. So please. Show me the way to join forces. Guardians, Zero, Slave, and save the kingdom. More ruins have been discovered?
Yes, and ones I've not seen in the archives. They seem to be quite ancient.
All right, so as you can see, there is quite a bit of dialogue. So it's a lot of downtime in this demo from what I've experienced so far, especially here at the beginning. You're looking at a lot of back and forth, going and speaking to the king, going and speaking to villagers, going and talking to this person. And it's just a lot of back and forth and talk and talk and talk. So at this point in the game, you really don't experience a whole lot of actual gameplay. And I think that's why they gave you such a long demo, which I'm all for. This demo is definitely a lot longer than your typical demo. They said online when we were researching it that it's, if you just stick to the main mission, it'll be about 2 or 3 hours. But if you're trying to just get everything that's available in the demo, then you're looking at up to 10 hours worth of content. So that's definitely more than you'll ever get with any other type of demo. So I really like that idea. What I'm actually going to do is, even though I don't really like talking over dialogue, there's so much of it, I will actually speak over it, because the main reason you're here is to hear the review on it. One thing that I can say when it comes to how the gameplay is set up is, just like with, I want to say Link's Awakening, you were going through and you have your sword swipes and you have your you can pick up the plants and throw them, you can pick up the vases and throw them. So this is the same type of concept, and I was immediately excited when I started it, going, oh my gosh, this is so much like Zelda, I love it. And it really did, kind of give me flashbacks to one of my favorite Zelda games. So yeah, so far it's been really cute. It's definitely cutesy.
But the odds and ends I'm finding aren't even worth a single tool. I'm starting to lose hope.
So yeah, after this little conversation here, we're finally going to get to like explore a little bit. So it will allow us to kind of walk around the area here, swipe at some grass, swipe at some enemies, do a little bit of, exploring and checking things out, looking for secrets and kind of trying to find different, things, trying to find the items for your quest.
The man in question is too injured to do it himself.
So yeah, it's definitely
No one's better equipped than us.
Legend of Zelda-esque, more like the semi-modern iterations, like Link's Awakening And
Likewise,
oh, what
friend.
was that other one? The one where Zelda is your main protagonist and Link's the bad guy. I can't remember the name of that one. It's kind of like that as well. The graphic style is a little more pixelated, which I'm kind of on the fence about. But you have that same kind of overview at an angle, and like I said, you get to swipe at things and you get to explore and do what you do. You also get to dungeon crawl a little bit, which dungeon crawlers is like the backbone of this genre. So yeah, you definitely get to do a little bit of nostalgia out of it. So I think that's pretty nifty. The husband absolutely adores Legend of Zelda. So anything that gives you that same gameplay style, that same kind of nostalgic feel, he's gonna love it. So yeah, I'm actually the one that's been playing this one. He watched me do some of it and he's like, oh, that is so cute, but he hasn't really messed with it too much yet. He might play it after I'm done. I'm not really sure. We're still debating whether we're actually going to buy it. So far from what I've experienced, the game's full price at, I believe, $59.99. I feel like that's a little overpriced, to be honest.
Of Philadelphia.
And I think the reason I feel that way is because you've got so much dialogue and so many breaks that you're not really playing. If this demo is any indication of what the full gameplay is going to be like, that's kind of a turnoff, at least for us. We don't like all these cutscenes. He was recently playing Final Fantasy 16, and there were so many cutscenes. It was actually quite frustrating because you don't get to play that much, and then you get another cutscene. Then you get to play a little bit, and then you get another cutscene. And each cutscene is twice as long as your actual gameplay session. So it's like you'll spend 5 minutes fighting a enemy, and then another 20 minutes of dialogue and cutscene. Then it's another 5 minutes where you get to play. So it's kind of frustrating in that regard that so many games recently are doing this. It's not just Final Fantasy. It's not just little games like this one, but I mean, even the major titles. 007 actually did it a lot more than I would have liked it to. It had a great story, and I enjoyed it tremendously. But you're still looking at so much dialogue and so little gameplay. And the reason you're playing these games is to actually play. You want to shoot, you want to fight, you want to do something. It's the whole reason you're holding the controller. And when your game is nothing but reading a screen or listening to dialogue, sometimes the most kind of key presses you have is the X button to be able to go to the next piece of dialogue. And some of these are set for auto, especially this one. I got it on auto, so I don't even have to press the button while they're talking, so I can just kind of zone out.
The Adventure of Elliot.
And
Yes.
in one hand, that's a good thing that you are able to get all that info dump, but at the same time, it's so much information and so much talking that you actually do not get the chance to actually enjoy playing the game. The only thing you're really doing is enjoying essentially what is a movie. And it kind of adds to the cons of most of these games, and that really stinks. And as you can see behind everything I'm talking over, this, has missions. It has little directions for you to go. So we do our little mission. He came into town, talked to these kids, gave the old man his item, and then he was approached by someone from the palace saying, "Hey, the king wants to see you." So now you got to make your way all the way to the palace and go inside, find the king, and then there's some more dialogue. So you get to control it to walk to the palace, and you can definitely explore the palace and speak to like the guards and everything. But I don't know. It's like I said, it's very slow moving in this beginning part, and I'm not really sure how much this is going to carry over into the rest of the game, because this is just the prologue and it's a demo prologue. So maybe it's just like this for the demo. I'm still on the fence about whether I actually want to purchase the game or not, because like I said, it is $59.99 on the PlayStation Store. And it just makes me wonder, do I want to
But of course, Your Majesty.
do that? Do I want to spend that kind of money for a game that I essentially don't get to play? That's the kind of thing you want to keep in mind when you're looking at these demos and watching, videos like mine. Do you want a game that you get to like do a whole bunch of parkour? Do you want to do a game where you're doing nothing but fighting and combat? Do you want something that's just a shoot 'em up? Do you what is it you're looking for in a game?
I understand.
And we are looking for something
everything in
that's
my power to
got
be
some
of
action,
service.
but not so hard that we are wanting to rage quit. And trying to find that happy medium in any way, it has been a challenge when so many games are either way too easy with nothing but dialogue and you're basically watching a movie with a little bit of interaction, or you're playing a game like Elden Ring that is so difficult that sometimes it takes weeks to finally beat a boss.
Oh, he's always there.
I'll say this much for it. At least this game does give you the story that you would definitely like to make sure that you have in any kind of game. It does give you some opportunities to actually do things. Like, the biggest thing for me is, actually being able to loot, to search, to investigate, to actually play. So far, I'm a little disappointed in this one, but I love the graphic style, and it does have so much potential. Will we buy it when it comes out? Probably not. I hate to say it, but I've got a feeling that most likely we will end up waiting for it to go way down in price, most likely when it's already a couple years old.
Very mature.
And that's not to say we won't change our mind later.
I
Now,
apologize
at
for
this
startling
time,
you.
we're
I
looking
didn't want
at
to interrupt
the
your
$60
plans.
price point on a game that's almost solely story. Now, when I chose the difficulty on this, I specifically chose normal because I didn't want it too easy, I didn't want it too hard. And normal is what's recommended.
This will
We
allow you
typically
help on
choose
your journey.
normal on any game we play.
Princess?
So it really does depend on the actual
Yes, to the very best of
settings
my
of the game
abilities.
and the recommended difficulties, but 9 times out of 10, we're going to choose normal. And in this particular instance, normal is almost all story and cutscenes, which has me wondering, what does hard look like? Is hard got just as much story? It's just harder to fight
Thank
the
you,
enemies?
Princess.
But we have played all kinds of different story type
thank
games.
you,
I mean,
Elliot.
if you go back, we did Until Dawn, and that's almost all
But there is
story,
one
but
thing
we
I
knew
should
that
say.
going in, and
These
we got
troubled
it
territories is
super cheap on
dangerous.
sale years after because there was a lot of hype about it. It's
think
like, you know
quick
what,
and
let's
act
just check
quicker
it
to
out. We
stay
already know
alive.
it's a narrative driven.
So please
And every
forgive me
once
if
in a
I
while,
say
I'll even
anything.
pick a narrative driven story, like I played this one where it was
Don't worry about me.
Bloom and Rage, I
fact,
guess.
please,
That was a
just call me
complete
Fury.
story game. There's Until Dawn, there's The Quarry. Games like that do have their place. They are a niche for sure. But when it comes to the full price of a
Your
game,
Highness.
in my eyes, through my husband's eyes, we feel that we have to be getting our money's worth. And our money's worth means playing the game. So
on
if
our
I'm
way
paying
then.
$60, as much as I don't
The ruin
like
awaits.
the super hard Souls-like games myself, I would still prefer to pay $60, $70 for something like Elden Ring or Call of Duty than to pay $60 for something that's almost all story like this.
I look forward
And
to
it's not to say the story's bad. It is really good story.
ruins are across the bridge to
But
the
I'm
east.
also not
Shall
going to
we?
spend $60, $70 to purchase the newest Blu-ray of whatever Tom Cruise's newest movie or the newest MCU movie. That's just not who I am. I think the most we paid was like $30, and that was for Ghostbusters when it first came out, and the last Beetlejuice that came out. I ended up buying it through Fandango with a digital copy instead of a physical disc. So, movies and video games kind of go hand in hand in that media regard, in my opinion. If I'm going to spend a big chunk of money, it's got to be worth it. And even though $60 is the typical gate price now for any new released game, especially AAA titles, the key word is AAA title. Now, does everyone agree with me? Probably not. If you think it's worth it, by all means, I'm not going to deter you from it. It is an absolute gorgeous game. And again, I may change my mind later, because it's still one of those debates, one of those things that me and my husband have been weighing out. We haven't decided 100%. But right at the moment, I'm not too keyed up on spending $60 for a narrative game. Doesn't mean, again, that I won't change my mind. And I got to keep reiterating that to you folks, because I could still do it. But as of today, I think I'm going to wait for the price to go down before I choose to actually add it to my collection.
Incredible.
All right, and this looks like a good place to go ahead and stop it, folks. I know my opinions are my opinions, and you may not agree with me, but I have played now up to 3, almost 4 hours of the demo. I might share more if you guys are interested, but for now, we'll go ahead and stop it, and until the next time, guys, bye.